it's not their fault because they've been brought up to believe that just as much as we've been brought up to believe that we need to depend on the men in our lives. This is the only way to protect myself. These days people just engage in all sorts of unnecessary conversation, and I don't have the time or energy for that. I just think that it's really widened the scope of entertainment.
Hi Vidya, welcome to Pink Villa.
Thank you.
Before I came on this call, while I was waiting for you, I was just trying to go through all the comments below the trailer, and I'm telling you, I don't know whether you got a chance, but people have such huge expectations.
That's music to my ears. I'm so glad that they're excited that people have loved the trailer and that they expect it to be good, and I hope they live up. I hope we live up to their expectations.
One also thing I noticed about it, about the trailer is that there is still hesitation. People are, when there is a woman who is taking charge, they still have that reservation to see a woman in a leadership role.
I think that's true, not just of this film, but of the world at large, that men have been in charge and they feel they know better. It's not their fault because they've been brought up to believe that just as much as we've been brought up to believe that we need to depend on the men in our lives.
Yeah.
So I think in that context, Vidya Vincent, who's a forest officer, is there are not too many female forest officers, though there are quite a few, but especially in a jungle posting, which is tough and arduous, you don't expect to see a woman.
Yeah.
And then you underestimate her because they're so patronizing towards her, but that's almost expected. And of course it angers me, but I think it angers all of us because we've all faced that kind of underestimation at some point in our lives. But importantly, she doesn't let that deter her.
Yes.
She doesn't let that limit her. She's a woman of very few words, but she's very strong-willed.
Yeah.
And she decides that she will do what she has to do, and she will do it the right way. Does not matter who supports her or who doesn't.
Vidya, over the years, I think, you have changed the game for women in the industry. But today, when you look back, do you see a lot of a drastic change, or you feel there is a lot to improve?
No, there is definitely great room for improvement still. But that's about the position of women in society at large, not just within the industry. But I'm glad we've come so far, because when I started out, the situation was very different. And a lot has changed in this time.
But when movies like Tumhari Sulu, Mission Mangal, or even Shakuntala Devi, where it's just not the appreciation, but also the numbers. So does it feel different that time?
It's the best feeling. Because, I am very grateful for the appreciation that I receive. But when a film is loved, it's the work of so many people, right? That is an inexplicable feeling. And then when a film does great numbers and is a huge success, that feeling is unmatched.
Do you feel that, OTT has changed the dynamics for the industry now?
No, I think it's widened the horizon for us. Both as consumers and as producers of content. As creators of content. So, and when I say creators of content, I'm talking about all the stakeholders. It's not just the producers, the directors, the writers, the actors, all the technicians. I just think that it's really widened the scope of entertainment, and therefore the consumers have that much more, that many more options. So it's a win-win for everyone.
I remember in one of the interactions I had with you, you had told me, I had asked you that, how your typical Friday is when your movie is up for release. Like, do you wake up and try to grab a newspaper and see what the reviews are? To which I remember you told me that you do not read reviews. But has that changed over the years? Because the reviews are not just restricted to newspapers. I feel it's out everywhere. People are discussing on social media, YouTube.
So, but I don't read any comments on social media either. And I think that's the only way I've been able to maintain my sanity, because it's just, I can't, and definitely not around the release.
how do you manage to, you know, stay away from a lot of things while being active on social media? So it's a very thin line, I think, being, you know, in touch with people, connecting with people, yet not being part of anything, or, you know, dragged into a controversy.
You know, because I basically don't read comments and I don't respond to comments. While I'm very grateful for the love I receive on social media and otherwise, of course, but I think this is the only way to protect myself, you know, because otherwise there's no end to it. People are, you know, social media is all consuming. You can spend an entire day doing this. And one, I don't want to spend that kind of time. There are other things that I need to do. Secondly, I think I'm just, when I put out something, I put it out because I like it. And I'm glad if you see it. And I'm even gladder if you like it. But if you don't like it, I'm sorry. I can't do anything about it. So I feel that, you know, these days people just engage in all sorts of unnecessary conversation, and I don't have the time or energy for that.
When people are consuming content sitting in, you know, the comfort of their bedrooms and watching movies on OTT, most of the times with family these days. So that's what will be the one thing that you would like to tell people to watch Sherni?
This, that, you know, we've not been able to step out of our homes and you'll actually feel like you're in the jungle. Of course, there is a storyline and there is the Sherni and all of that. But, you know, when my mother watched the trailer, she said, oh my God, you know, it's soothing me. And I think this is a perfect film, especially for, you know, in Mumbai, it's raining. Yes. So, and I'm sure it'll be raining around that time also. Just have a hot cup of chai, some bhajiyas, and watch it with your family. This is the kind of film that you can watch with your family. So, please do.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Lovely talking to you.
Same here.